Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our, I don't know, fourth episode, I think it is
Yeah.
now, Erika, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of Soul Sisters Real and Raw talk show. And today we just had a conversation about, again, a little bit what's going on in the world, especially with a lot of information that's been hidden, I would say, for years and years and years, are kind of unfolding into the reality, and it can be feeling like it's too much. So I would like to ask you, Erika, is there the things that are coming up right now, is there a lot of things that you have known for a long time, or is it like, where are you at this present moment with, and I'm talking about trafficking, I'm talking about the deeper shadow, like the, yeah.
Well, in my awareness, it always has existed on this paradigm as we know it isn't like the human race. Some of us know that there were other races simultaneously coexisting here before, but as the human race per se, there is always been this hijacking of the matrix and our sovereignty. So that yes, this stuff has been played out, this level of polarity
Yeah.
has played out for centuries, centuries and centuries, and many knew about it. There is scrolls, there is text, there is all kinds of things given mention to this. And some of us that do great work, we also can tap into the collective consciousness of the planet, and we know that there is stuff that holding us back from collectively expressing freedom, liberation, expansion, happiness, and joy. And there is many tethers and ways to subjugate us. I don't want to go so deep into naming what these are because it's like I don't want to give them a platform. But yes, in my awareness, they always have existed. Many people have known about it. Whistleblowers have come out. Many people disappear for speaking truth. I know I've always been interested in the paranormal and things that are not out in the open. And I follow a lot of people that had channels that were taken down. So all these things have been playing out for many years. And some of us knew about these things for many years. And of course, they call us names, crazy, conspiracies, like all the things. And we're like, yeah, okay, if we want to know us, we need to know our history and we need to know who we are as a whole, right? So knowing all the parts, even though it feels uncomfortable, is part of it in my
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it feels a little bit when I see the news and people are like, oh my gosh, too much is so horrible. Like, yeah, I agree, it's too much is so horrible. And it's like it feels like a violation of our beingness that all this stuff that has been kept and curated because there's still more stuff that we're eventually gonna find out, but there's not yet out in the open.
Mhm.
But when it's like it hasn't been done in a way that is like war vomit. It's like a
Mhm.
bomb, like
Yes.
an atomic bomb. And it's like, well, people see what you do with it. And it is like too much that people are trying to like discern it, integrate it, like pieces, and it's too much, right? And it's shocking, and it's shocking for the system. So
Exactly.
in
Nervous
my
system. Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
it's been
Indeed.
done intentionally in that way to create more fear.
And also, I would say it's shocking to the nervous system, and also it's so simple for us as human beings to go into distracting or numbing or, um, yeah, instead of really sitting with it and take it piece by piece, because everything has been out there all the time, all these years, all these like hundreds and thousands of years. But I would also say and encourage everyone that do your own research the way it feels comfortable for you. Because so much things that's coming up now, I've known for years and years and years. And even when I was a child, I was like, okay, my body spoke to me. Like My body knew that what was true or not. And that was up to me to, like, trust it as a child. Sometimes I did without knowing it. And sometimes I didn't, because the programming started so early. And I'm not talking about from the outside and society. But I want to bring in something as well, that we've been talking and doing, like, just here on the show as well, to find your community, to find people where you feel safe to express things maybe that you are processing. Because when you go into seeing, like, for me, it was like, oh my God, everything is an illusion. I had to process it for 3 months before I could kind of add on something more and deeper, and, like, to receive that. So I had to process it for, 3 months. But I knew it was true, but it was, my whole system was like, oh my God, I really believed in this leader and in this person. Very well-known person worldwide. And then I was like, but when I had processed it, then I started to see the nuances and feel into conversation I heard from this person. And, like, oh my God, I knew it was something that felt off, but I wasn't ready. So I would
Yeah.
still want to say, like, what we are talking about, to have compassion and kindness to yourself, because it's quite a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Mm.
And one of the things, as you were mentioning, that it kind of shocks you, and it took you like 3 months to integrate it. It's completely normal because we know we had that knowing integrated. Some of us more than others, like more tuned in. But it's because of many ways. It's like it could be from different timelines that you have that cellular memory, and that is in your etheric files, that yes, you experience that trauma, that yes, that happened to you, that yes, that is real. One thing comes into my mind many years ago, many years ago, I was in my early 20s. I was dating this guy that was like head over heels. And then he invited me to a movie, but I didn't know what the movie was about till I was on my sixth. I never really liked horror movies. And it wasn't really horror. It was like some pregnant women that their kid was removed. And so that was the first part. And it was like a circle, and many women, and their babies were being taken out. I was feeling all the feels. I was feeling nauseous. I was feeling horrible. I remember getting up and I was like, oh, excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. And I collapsed on my way to the bathroom. And I was in such a shock and shame. I was like, oh my gosh, right? I wanted today to go perfect, right? But this happened. And then I was like, okay, well, we went out and I was trying to compose myself. But that cellular memory of like these things being real and these things happening. And through that experience, and after that, many years of working with clients, is like, well, you have the recognition and it shocks your system, and it feels like true to you. And in the system, let's call it the system, works in very sneaky ways through media, through all the forms, through art, through music, through all these things to reinforce some agenda visually, auditory. And it's like reinforcing that agenda again and again. And then, like, you normalize it. Your body is no longer shocked with it. And like, whoa, there's some truth to this. It's like you normalize it, you integrate it, you made it part of your life. And that is a way of agreeing. That is a way of like accepting this as a fact, as a truth, as a way of life. And it's kind of hijacking your sovereignty. With myself and working with people, like sometimes I find that there have been consensual stuff that is enmeshed them with really things that are not supportive for them, like very dense, very compromised. And it's like, how did that even happen? Like, how would you consent to something like that? And it's like, it doesn't always happen through awareness. It
Exactly.
happens in very sneaky ways.
Yeah. And also, when I love what you're saying, consent. because somehow as human beings, we have a free will, but through everything that we've been conditioned to believe subconsciously, and it starts as a child. Just I can take the example of television, and for children to sit there and look at, and which I did myself, to look at some cartoons where there is sexual things going on, there are one or both parents have are dead or are dying or something, in everything. Now I see it in everything. Like when I'm so aware now, it's so why? It's this starting to ask the question. For me, I have my truth in it. Why it's happening? Because this is part of, I would say, the mind. What do you call it?
Programming, right?
Yeah,
Like
mind.
brainwashing you in
Thank
a
you.
way that is not is distorted. There's a lot of
Yeah,
distortions out there, like destroying the family, the values. Like back in the day, we were more oriented, like people had word, and the word was more important than a paper or a signature or that. And all of these things had disappeared from society. And it didn't happen over time, or it didn't happen because people just became bad. It happened because of all of these agendas to because this is my personal belief. I believe that everybody innately is good. Innately is good, and it's like through life experiences and things and events, like those things change. And of course, through our free will, we get to feel like victims or free ourselves from the resentment if we want. So it's a little bit of a lot of things, but it's like, what do you do with the thing when the things come your way? I see like families dissolving with so much ease, like divorce rates through the roof. People not really ready to have deep and uncomfortable conversations. It requires a lot of emotional maturity, and many people are lacking that. And of course, how we're not going to be shocked with things that we see in the media? We in ourselves in our personal life cannot hold that space for the discomfort and cannot hold that space when like things don't feel right, because what we tend to do due to the programming is to escape. Escapism is so huge. It's like binging eating, binging TV, Netflix, whatever, Prime, escaping through sex, alcohol, buying things that you don't need, shopping away things that you don't need. And it's like many ways to like really to escape and not sitting with that discomfort and not sitting with yourself, which I think is we're missing the point, and we're missing the key of our existence to experience it all this all polarity and all these contracts.
absolutely. And I also believe that um, the more, for me, everything is about how can we prevent? Because I know and have experienced a lot of different things and a lot of darkness that is going on, but that's not where I'm going to be right now. That's not my purpose, that's not my mission. So for me, it's all about prevention and creating new systems, which we are doing right now, just here, right now, and have been doing since you came into my life again, I would say. Um, but if you're not aware, you cannot change anything. So, I mean, that's why we're bringing this up as well, that to create a curiosity, and you're not alone, and you're always guided and protected. And so if I would like to invite the people listening right now as well, that if you have any questions or feel like, oh, I heard about this, it feels uncomfortable, reach out to us on YouTube, and we can also do a Q&A about it. But to, how can I say, the more aware we are, the more we can go back in our own consciousness, but also energy, and like where it feels uncomfortable, and start to shift it, then you're shifting the collective as well. So for me, the children is my number one, always been. But if I don't do my part, how can I teach my children? And how can I send out what I energetically want to send out? Like when I hear you talk about your son, I can feel his energy. I have never met him yet,
Mhm.
but I feel
Yeah.
him. Like I feel because through you, but also the way you describe him and how much love and light and intelligence, emotional intelligence he has already. And he's 5, 6,
6.
6. Mm.
He's my biggest teacher in my whole life.
Good.
Yeah.
Mine as well. I mean, my children.
Yeah. And these kids are coming from higher dimensions with different programs. We, in the past, there was a set of souls that were assigned to come here. And it's like, yeah, we need to experience all the tribulations and all the being in the world to like remember who we are. These kids don't need that. And these kids rather skip the drama and they confront you with your baggage, like, no, I don't want anything to do with your baggage and your trauma and your wounding, like hell to the no. And they have more aliveness, more fun, and more joy that we didn't have, like those older souls. So yes, I work with a lot of kids too, 5, 6, and up, and teenagers as well. And it's like they're programmed different, but also their programming makes them susceptible to all these densities that we're experiencing right now, and all this trying to hold on to the control that has happened for so many centuries. But all we know that as empaths, as light workers, that is it has an expiration date, and it depends on all of us, and it depends on like how we can confront, let's call it, the system that in the first place was trying to limit us. The system wanted to limit us, limit our knowing, limit our expansion, limit our awareness, limit our liveliness that it goes through our physical body, right? All the toxins that we ingest, all the carcinogens that are in the food, all the things that we get exposed to, not only through food, but like that also make contact with the skin, the products that we had in the house, the things that we listen to constantly again and again. So it's like always, I sound like a broken record when I say really make inventory of your life and see, observe. It's not a like to become kind of like a crazy person, like "Gosh, everything is bad." No, but see it, see with yourself, see how your body feels. Is it truth? Is it supportive for you? And experience, like you can maybe imagine, okay, if I take a bath right now, if I take a shower, or if I do something that whatever something that you really don't want to do, what is your body want to? And
Exactly.
start getting that connection with yourself, because this is really important. Like we know we have this feel around the heart that is kind of like its own brain that is very big as a thorax field, and it's like that part of us knows information before we logically know it. And that's how we explain that many times we just get a feeling like something that just doesn't feel quite right, because we pressurize ourselves. We want to be accepted in society. We don't want to be called weird or like abnormal. And sometimes we go there even though it doesn't feel right. And I really want to invite you to honor that part of you, because that part of you is your inner guidance, your inner compass that's going to guide you through life, through your own life, because we're all different. We're all different. So what's true for me is not true for you, and that's okay. But if you're able to just sit with yourself and acknowledge that with internal wisdom that we all have, that they have separated us from intentionally, from centuries and centuries, and it's like, go there, sit with it, feel the weight of it, and go through life with that. Because like sometimes, and I remember when I had my existential, I was like, I'm an old soul, always been. I was 12 and I was asking deep questions, and my father was very religious, very Catholic, and he didn't know what to answer. It's like it felt like we're here without a roadmap. Like, what's the point of existence? Like, why am I thinking? Why am I seeing? Like all these
Why am
questions,
I here? Like, where am I? Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we do have a purpose. So ask yourself those questions. Like, go really there because we are taking back ownership of our existence.
Yeah. And when you talked about the food, like the inventory and all of that, I love that part. For me, when I've been before I was without conscious knowing, emotional eating food and stuff. I can still do it, but it's a conscious choice. So if I pick out candy here, for example, and sugar, I know I can feel now what the body, it's like the body is kind of trying to reject it. But if I buy it, it's still, and it comes from, I know it maybe it's not the best for me, but right now I'm craving it, I will buy it. It's still my own like conscious choice because I know that some stuff I cannot stop with everything at once, if that makes sense. But the more I leaned into to like what does my body want right now, I started to add on strawberry and blueberries in my salad and in my food, like berries. And I was like, this is something I truly wanted to eat. So I would say like intuitive eating instead of focus on, okay, I'm going to stop eat XYZ all at once.
Yeah,
Because
I love
I
that.
cannot, like, that's too much for me
Too
and my
much
body.
deprivation. I get that. I'm an emotional eater too. And then I love food. Like everybody
Yeah,
that
me
knows is
too.
like, I love sweets. I love sweets. I love chocolate. Dark
Oh,
chocolate is
yes.
my favorite over any ice cream, over all any of these things. I'm a sweet tooth. Like everybody knows it in my house. I think everybody is in my house. So my husband will make like these desserts out of like beans and like will look like a brownie, but it's like beans and something like carrot instead of cocoa. And it's like, and it's amazing. And I'm like, I can eat that for some time, but I'm like, ooh, especially when I'm hormonal. I'm like, no, I know it's not great, but it makes me feel good. And I'm like, I do it. And I do it, but I do it conscious, like you say, but it makes me happy.
Yeah. And I think it's important to bring this up because uh, if when you're on this journey, it can be so how can you say, don't do that, like
Yeah.
rules, like
Oh my gosh. And we see it too in the false light
it's
matrix.
yes,
That false spirituality. Like if you're not vegan, if you're not wearing everything like organic cotton, if you don't have like all the crystals all over your head and like if you don't sound like you're singing all the time, then you're not like us. And it's like, well, I
yeah.
don't want to be like you.
No.
I want to be my own self. But we're taking it other extremes, right? Because it's like it's always been like this polarity and this division. We see it in all layers of life. Like is it racial? Is it financial? Is it because what you look like in your ethnicity of the ethnography, where you're located in the world? Like, it gets like a lot of layers. It's like,
Yeah.
and then spiritually, we're doing just the same, right? Like, if you don't sound like that, it's like you're blessed all the time and you're like biting higher all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I see that, woof, I just like change the page because I don't really want to invest with that. Like some people are just like too much, and you honor your beingness. Like we ditch that idea that we have to be perfect.
Yeah,
Ditch that
exactly.
idea that we
Yes.
have to make everything whatever right means for you. There's no good, bad, right, or wrong. Like give meaning to things. We are the meaning makers. Doesn't mean anything. Like people get really surprised when like I'm very open, like I'm an open book, is my personality with my clients. Like they know me. Some old clients become my friends. They come to my home, they eat dinner with my family. It's like, I love whiskey.
Yeah.
And people get so surprised. And I'm like, why? Right? Like, why do we want to take away something, and I don't drink like to get crazy, right? I just drink one cup and I'm enough, right? And I sip it and I enjoy it. And it has to be a good whiskey, not just any whiskey. And it's like people get so surprised. And I'm like, yeah, because we're used to in all aspects of life, everything is like has to be a stream. If you're a practitioner, if you're spiritual, you have to be the right spiritual. You're like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Just be
No,
you.
and that's performance. I would say that's
Yeah,
and
100%.
spiritual bypassing. Because when you talked a little, like a couple of minutes ago, I just received a download with us in a past life in kind of ritual, like a beautiful ritual, but a witch ritual and a fire and dancing and screaming and doing like kind of releasing, but in a way that was just meant to happen. Because you know, as me, that to like transmute the shadows, it's not comfortable. It's not fun and it's not comfortable, but when you do it over and over again, it's get normalized as well. So it's
Normalize it. Yeah.
because I'm not scared, because I know on the other side.
That is key. That is really huge. What you brought up is not being scared of it, not being afraid of it, because it is not, and there's not a pinnacle, because this is what other people sometimes I see clients that they're just in a loop of like, oh, and then I need to heal this, and then I need to heal this past life, and then I need to heal this pattern. It's like, this is a journey. You have your
Yes,
entire life for this. There's no expiration date. Like if you don't get to do it until you're 50, then you're done. No, like it keeps going. We're growing, we're expanding, we're stretching, we're contracting. This is just the nature of this experience. And it's like, if you can be okay with it and also ditch the performance that it has to look a certain way, ditch the expectations that your life has to be a certain way. But the only thing that I can tell you, if you are consistent with yourself, having moments with yourself, sitting with your discomforts, allowing yourself to see the beauty of who you are with all your flaws, with all your values, with your authenticity, with your truth. And when you are that person, whatever comes your way, you're always going to have the tools, the discernment, the patience, the tolerance. It's like your bandwidth to take more and more kind of expands. And this is what I hear from people that starts this journey is like they see their own evolution because things that you used to shock them or things that they will lose their patience, lose their mind over, no longer do that. There is
exactly.
not that attachment to things. There is not that attachment to, oh, it needs to be this or that way, that attachment to the outcomes. It's like, I'm doing, I'm showing up as the best version of myself with my highest intentions and highest good for all. What can go wrong, right? Whatever happens outside of that is not in my control. And it's like you flow through life with this mindset in this, and it's different. It's completely different.
It is. And also something that comes to my mind now, that I talk to my clients about, and also from my own journey in the beginning when I had hard time, that I needed distractions. I needed the television on. I needed music. I needed like the distraction, because when I was in my own space, it felt in my body very uncomfortable in the beginning. And um then the more I practiced that, I started to really enjoy being by myself. And I always traveled before the children by myself as well. Not always, but most of the time. Um, and in human design, you're aligned to the hermit and me as well. Like it's of course also there, but I didn't know. But what I was going to say is that the more people, and I see it over and over, like challenge themselves to actually have an evening by themselves, maybe not watching something, not socialize, not being like, oh, you're not successful or having like a beautiful life if you're not having all these social, I don't know, gatherings and stuff. It's like, but is this people you actually, are they the ones for you? Do you actually want to be around them. And shifted to, I used to have, it was a long time ago now, but intentionally have a date day or date night with yourself, or go out on a restaurant, on a cafe by yourself. I don't feel that uncomfortable at all. And some people are like, I know that, oh, that feels like I'm a loser. That feels like XYZ. And for me, it's like, no, then I can eat my food. I can watch people. But to date yourself, like physically, I'm talking about. So, yeah, I just want to share that because that just came through.
I love that you share that because, I observe people doing it. I've done it in the past. Now, like, I have my son that he always wants to go with me, but before I used to do it quite a lot. And now I observe people doing it. But when I observe them doing it, I'm like, wow, that's a powerful person. That's
Yeah,
where my brain goes when I see
exactly.
that. Like, immediately my brain is like, that is a powerful person. A person that can see with themselves, with their presence, with their mind, with their thoughts, and don't feel a certain way. That is a powerful person. And I just like, that's where my brain goes when I see it. So I love that because it is power
It
to
is.
be able to sit with yourself, to date yourself, to pamper yourself. And that's not what we've been taught, right? We've been taught distraction, noise, one relationship to another relationship. Like, I cannot be alone, like we have this expression in Latin America. It's like the train is leaving you if you get to a certain age and you don't have a relationship, or you're not married, or you don't have kids. It's like the train is leaving you. What train?
Yeah.
Who's
The
trained?
stress.
What? Like
Yep.
all the constructs that we made up, right? To
Yeah.
to limit to
And
limit our.
also, when I was in London and me and my love Christian was supposedly going to meet, this is back in 2022, and the universe did not want that. So I ended up in London 2 weeks by myself because I made a decision as well that, okay, I'm going to stay here. And I shifted. That's how I work as well. Like, okay, then I shift my mindset. What do I want to do today? And one of the reason why I was supposed to not to be there by myself was to start to really heal my codependency on a cellular deep level. It was uncomfortable AF. I'm not going to swear. But I had my coach as well. So when I was walking, we had, voice messaging. I was like, okay, now I'm going through all of these shifts. And when I just want to share this because when I also tune into that past pain in my body, before I wasn't able to sit like, what do you call lotus? You say lotus position? Like my legs were up here. And after 24 hours, I could sit because the density of like the energy from my sacral chakra and my hips, I think, left. It was one of the most uncomfortable, like just that night. But that's also with my love, how we energetically are simultaneously co, mm, what do you say, co-healing? Can you say that? Like co-transmuting pain
Right.
without physically meeting. But what I was going to share was that these 2 weeks in London, and it was my first trip without the children as well, doing something for myself. And walking around, I was out sometimes on restaurants and cafes and stuff. And with the restaurant, the staff was at my table. They were drawn and we were talking about wine. Like, I love people who are really nerding in. Do you say nerding in English? Like,
Like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And into like their, we talked about it. You love quality, like good quality. Me as well. And to hear someone talk about their passion, it was wine in, I don't know, Italy, whatever. But all this, like, that's where I have created my level of trust that I'm never alone. I can be in my own space, but when I'm walking, there's always people interacting or talking or even in a different country and a different. Yeah.
And we're never really alone. Like when I hear a lot of my clients are star seeds and empaths and all this, and we go through this phase of like to start to know who we are, and then there is that natural tendency to separate yourself for some time till you get to meet yourself and be okay with all of those things. And it's like, well, we have all this world around us that we don't see, that is invisible to the eye, but that we feel our guide, we feel our spirit team, we feel these presences that is not all bad. We tend to think, oh, this matrix and all the things, but it's like we also have assistential beings that their, let's say, their job, or their role is to guide us and to support us into claiming our freedom too. And we can access that too. It's like we're never really alone.
And also to trust, because now I see more and more women traveling by themselves. And I had so many strangers, I do, situation, with spiritual messages to me. That was my first like experience of energetically the matrix of energy. Like I was on the sideway and there were people walking towards me. They didn't see me. They physically didn't see me. And then
Wow.
some other people did, and they were smiling. So I could see the layers of like vibrational, like the frequency.
Yeah, yes,
You
yes.
could
Oh my gosh, and
see
we
it.
can talk about that
Yeah. So we get,
for
and
another
so
for another
for me, it
show.
was
I
like
love that.
coming home. I was meant to go there, be in my own, discovery and experience of knowing that London for me was like coming home. And that's part of why I want to move there. Maybe not forever, but I have part of my soul purpose there. And I actually don't think that's the most beautiful city in the world at all. It's a lot of gray and stuff, but the people that I met and the diversity and also a lot of darkness that I experienced that I was meant to, tap into and like, oh, I've been here, I know this. Um, was meant to happen. Yeah.
I love this topic, and if it's aligned with you, we can talk about this next talk show. There's a lot to say with this, with like grids and why are we drawn to certain places,
Yes.
and to have experiences there and interactions that expand us in our another way of being. So I love that. I love that. There's so much to say on that. So what would you like to share to wrap it up for today?
Okay. I want to share ah a message of today. It's Friday. So today and this weekend, to allow yourself to be curious and to, if you feel density, tap into something that gives you energy so you can be curious, whatever that is. If it's a conversation, if it is date yourself, even if it is 1 hour, you don't have to like, if it is doing something you've never done before, walking on a street where you've never been, there's so many things you can explore, but to be curious. That's what I'm, yeah.
Taking another level, another notch with like a conversation that is being pending that you are meant to have.
Yeah.
Reaching out to somebody that has been in your mind and you have not reached out yet.
Yes.
From the walk, I know it's like this, the war is like going through things and it's like it's raining or it's just too much snow in some places, but like find a way to be out, find a way to connect, find a way to receive, because we also receive through our bodies. And yeah, just question everything, even the food, the things that you listen to. Why do I listen to? Why do I feel drawn? Why do I feel drawn to these places? Why do I feel drawn to these people? Like start really making little steps to make this broader inventory of your life. But we start with little things.
Yeah. Always.
And sometimes we be like, well, I'm just used to, or that's just the only way I know it. So disrupt that pattern, and it's like, oh, try to do it something different, because that's how we reprogram ourselves, just doing something different. That's how we rewire our brain.
And I would also, one more thing. Even if you feel that you've done so much shadow work and you are so conscious aware and blah, 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 I know most of the people I talk to, it doesn't matter, because going back to the basic, like we are talking about now, the small steps, the small things, it's the key.
Yeah.
It
Start
is.
somewhere. Just start somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Well, we love you. So good to be here. Send up your questions, your comments, your shares, your aha moments. We are here for you. We do this with you in mind. We do this because we like to be in contribution with the all and with everybody that just wants to be more aware, is more expanded. We're here for you. We're rooting for you. We love you, and we see you next time.